Hey guys, what's going on? Greenville Gear. Thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to share some pickups I've had over the recent weeks and months. All vintage cards. Nice fat stack if you're into vintage baseball or vintage football in this case. I've got a few of those too. But almost 30 cards. And so let me show you some of the ones I've grabbed. All these are in Greg Morris holders. If I have any, or I've had orders from them before, I just save those. So if you recognize these, I just save them, and then when I acquire cards from various sources, I just use the card saver ones from Greg Morris until I figure out what the heck I'm going to do with these cards. So not all of these are Greg Morris purchases, but it may look that way. Here's 1952 Topps Fred Marsh iconic set. I don't have a ton of these. I have maybe 7 or 8 at this point, maybe 10. But if I see them at a decent price, then I grab them because it's just too cool of a set. And so, like I mentioned, just iconic. It's a really classic baseball set and a vintage set, so I've been grabbing those. I have 4 vintage football cards to show you. This is from the 1957 Topps football set, and just such a neat set. I love this set. It's got the 2 photos. It's got the portrait, and then it always has kind of the action shot, although they're, of course, posing. And it just is such a cool set, and I really love it. This one's off-centered on the back. But in terms of maybe building a binder someday, this one looks great. So here's Bill Houghton. And it's kind of interesting. I was thinking about it because the 1957 baseball set is kind of that black and white, and these are really nice colors. Here's Fran Rogel. So they've got the stats, they've got the cartoon on the back, the 2 photos. This is kind of my favorite pose. Here's a lineman, a tackle. Volney Peters. It's kind of with his arms forward. But there's that from Washington. And you also find out where they went to college. Here's Ron Waller, a back for the Rams. So I've been grabbing some of these. I don't know if I'll ever kind of do that set in earnest, but I like setting them aside and kind of at least building a stack, and then I have a little starter set if I ever get serious about it. One set that I think I will eventually try to make a run at is 1950 Bowman baseball. I love this set. I think it's great. They're a little bit, obviously smaller size than a standard card, but the little kind of square design is neat. I really like it, and I like the back too. It feels really vintagey to me, and so I've been grabbing these, and I've got a pretty nice little collection going. What distinguishes it, of course, from I think it's 51 Bowman is there's the player's name is not on the front, which actually is a little annoying, but I think these are going to be great in a binder, and yeah, they're really neat. And I think they make a sleeve that's like an insert just for these years, and so I've got to look into that. You can confirm that in the comments for me if you know, but it's got that kind of edging to the sleeve. But what a set. So here's Bob Rush. I just like that it's listed on there as Bowman Gum, and just cool. It's Monty Kennedy. I don't know, there's something about this set, and so I've been looking for them, and if I find them kind of centered and in decent condition, as you see here. Hank Majeski from Staten Island. Pittsburgh Pirate here. So again, a little soft on the edges. These cards are all kind of the same condition. But I will just grab them. If I get them, like I said, centered decently, they'll look good in a binder. This one's off top to bottom, but still. Randy Gumpert, I must have gotten this one a little cheaper. But it's not a massive set. And you'll have to forgive me for not knowing offhand, but I think a couple hundred cards, which might also make it doable. Versus the fight that I'm in right now with, 1960 Topps, which of course is a set I love. and I'm really working on that one in earnest. But I think 1950 Bowman will be my next one. If I get close on 1960 Topps, I'll probably switch gears and do this one. I mean, look at that card. Catcher pose here from Bob Swift of the Tigers. That's card 148. Yeah, here's card 213. So I don't know offhand the total number of cards in the set, but it seems a little more manageable. And if not mistaken, there's not a, obviously there's not a mantle or anything in this set either. So there's some high dollar cards that I'd have to really kind of think about. But nevertheless, that's that. And then the other kind of on the bubble set that I think I will eventually tackle is 1966 Topps. And I think it's also an attainable, not completely prohibitively expensive set. But I think you can get cards in this set excellent, near mint, really affordably. It's a bigger set, obviously. And it's got some cool rookies in the set. I've already got some of the Hall of Famers in the set. There's Jose Tartable. Here's Howie Koplitz. Doesn't look like a very intimidating pitcher to me. Although I've got those same glasses, so I can't criticize him too much. Here's Adolfo Phillips. Pretty straightforward set. Dick Nen of the Senators. But I've been grabbing these as well. And I haven't looked, haven't counted, or really made an earnest effort to figure out how big my quote-unquote starter set is here. But I think it's a nice vintage fat stack. There's a nice bit of chew in his mouth. The Kansas City A's. Here's Jim Stewart of the Cubs. And last but not least, here's Don Landrum, also of the Cubs. So that's the 1966 Topps set. So let me know in the comments if you have some sets that you're kind of targeting or you really like, or you're kind of working on but not really working on because you're working on other projects in the hobby. But for me, it's definitely 1950 Bowman, 1966 Topps, and then maybe someday 1957 Topps baseball. Obviously, 1952 Topps baseball is kind of out of the question, but that's just fun. And I think in many ways that's what collecting in the hobby is all about, is just getting cards, even if in this case they're common cards, in sets that you like and vintage sets that bring you joy. I think it's a lot of fun. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.